Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, we're learning more about a shooting that has injured several people during a Lexington basketball game. We'll tell you the condition of the victims and what's going on with that investigation coming up in a live report. 2 overnight fires kept Lexington firefighters busy. We'll tell you what sparked the flames. And today marks 2 years since a Madison County teenager disappeared. More on what her family is trying to do now to search for clues.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It is your Monday. We're glad you're with us here on June 22nd, the first full day of summer. Welcome aboard. I'm Bill Bryant. Rebecca's off. Want to check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. Hope you had a good Father's Day and ready to go. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we're looking outside. A lot of people yesterday for Father's Day stayed dry, but there were some down in southern Kentucky, south of I-64, that actually had some thunderstorms roll on through there for Father's Day. You know why? We have some more storms back toward the west. It's falling apart, but there still is going to be some rain edging its way into our western zones here in the next hour to 2. Current temperatures 60s and 70s. Same feel as what you have felt the past several mornings. There you go, day part planner. We head throughout the afternoon. 90 degrees with that small chance of rain. Now remember, today is your driest day in the forecast. Enjoy it while it lasts, because here comes those storms back in the forecast with even that severe weather threat. Show you when you can expect that coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Look forward to it. We're learning more this morning about a shooting that injured several people during a basketball game in Lexington. That shooting happened just after 9 o'clock last night in Douglas Park. WKYT's Mark Barber is live from UK Hospital with the latest on that. Mark, we've learned some more information from the police this morning. What can you tell us now about the victims?
Good morning, Bill. I can tell you that 5 people were shot, and one of them, a man, is here at UK Hospital in critical condition. Officers tell me that the man has been in surgery, but they say they haven't seen any improvement. They tell me that he was shot in the neck. Now, we are also learning new information this morning about 4 other people who were also shot during that basketball game at Douglas Park last night. Police say 1 woman and 4 men were injured in the spray of bullets. We've learned that one of those men is nearly 60 years old, and several others are in their 20s or 30s. Police say bullets grazed 3 of them, and another was shot in the leg, and another was shot in the neck. Officers tell us that the gunfire erupted around 9:15. Police described the scene as chaotic. As they said, people ran for cover when they heard those gunshots. We're told officers don't know if children were in the park yet. Investigators tell us they don't think the 5 people who were shot were playing in the Dirt Bowl basketball tournament. The tournament was once considered the #1 outdoor basketball tournament in the country, and it is still recognized by the NCAA. The last time there was a shooting at the tournament, a 20-year-old was shot in the back by 2 men after the championship game in 2013. In this latest case, police say they think there was only 1 shooter, but they say they don't have much to go on other than the color of the man's black shirt. Now, police say they are still looking for evidence as well as for witnesses. They say they aren't able to answer many of our questions yet. So they say that this morning, one of the things that they're still working to answer was whether the shooting was a targeted event or random. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you very much. New this morning, 2 fires kept Lexington firefighters busy overnight. The first fire started in an apartment building on Malibu Drive, and that broke out just before 11 last night. And then the second fire started at a home on Cashel Court. That's off Woodhill Drive. That was about 1:30 this morning. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is live from the Malibu Drive fire. Hillary, what sparked these fires?
Good morning, Bill. Investigators say the fire here at the Malibu Manor apartment started in a kitchen, while a lightning strike is to blame for the problems at the home over off of Woodhill Drive. The kitchen fire here on Malibu Drive started sometime before 11 last night. Firefighters say the smoke then quickly made its way into the upper floors. Now, everyone did get out okay except one woman who had to walk down 3 flights of stairs. She was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation, but we're told she is expected to be okay. Now, while crews were busy with that apartment fire, they were also called to a home investigators say was hit by lightning on Cashel Court, which is near Woodhill Drive. Firefighters say lightning hit a corner of that home and traveled down some electrical wires in that wall. After turning off some breakers in that home and monitoring the situation, that family was able to return inside. Then as for the apartment building back out here on Malibu Drive, firefighters say there was not any significant water or fire damage and no one was displaced due to that fire. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you very much. 5:35 now on WKYT this morning, and Scott County investigators are still trying to figure out what led to a deadly crash on Interstate 75 over the weekend. The wreck happened just before 4 yesterday in the northbound lanes. The Scott County coroner has identified the couple who died as 70-year-old Timothy Cantrell and his wife Susan. Emergency crews say they believe the couple had pulled over to the side of the road to change a tire. They were standing outside their car when two other vehicles lost control and hit them. One witness says he has never seen anything quite like that wreck.
It's pretty emotional seeing the people coming out of the accident all covered up and everything, you know. But I've never been in an accident like this, close to an accident like that.
The coroner says Timothy Cantrell was a retired firefighter. Also, a woman and 3 kids, as well as a man, were in one of the vehicles that lost control. They were taken to the hospital. Their conditions not known to us at this point. Today marks 2 years since the disappearance of a Madison County teen, and now her family is hoping for new leads in the creation of a new website. 18-year-old Brooklyn Farthing was last seen on June 22, 2013, at a home on Dillon Court in Berea. Police have followed up on several tips since then, but so far they don't have any real good leads. Brooklyn's family has now launched a website, findbrookefarthing.com. The family is offering a $14,000 reward for information leading to her return or the capture of those responsible for her disappearance. Well, this weekend marked a year since a Marine was murdered outside of a Lexington bar. On June 21st of 2014, police say Jonathan Price and his wife Megan were leaving a bar in the Woodhill Center when someone robbed and shot them. Both Jonathan and Megan went to the hospital where Jonathan later died. Megan has survived, and in the years since the murder, officers have made no arrests. Later today, you'll be hearing from Price's mother. She says she is still confident that police will figure out who killed her son. That story airs this evening on WKYT News at 6. A new lead this morning in the search for 2 escaped killers on the run in New York. David Sweat and Richard Matt broke out of a maximum security prison 2 weeks ago, and now some DNA evidence has linked them to a cabin in northern New York. Kenneth Craig tracking that story from the CBS News Broadcast Center.
In a matter of hours, the manhunt for David Sweat and Richard Matt have taken authorities to multiple sites hundreds of miles apart in New York and close to the Pennsylvania border. Law enforcement sources tell CBS News investigators have a DNA match confirming the convicted killers were in the Saranac Lake area within the last 24 hours. That DNA was apparently found on an item in a cabin that had been broken into in the area about 40 miles south of the Clinton Correctional Facility in Dannemora. Late Sunday night, tactical teams from Vermont were called in for the first time to aid in search efforts near Mountain View, about 30 miles west of the prison. Authorities turned their attention there after investigating a credible sighting some 300 miles away in Friendship, New York, near the Pennsylvania border.
Aviation, canine, and special operations teams were called in to assist with this search.
Brandy Thompson says she spotted 2 men who resembled the convicts in her backyard.
My heart dropped. I called the dog. I grabbed my cell phone and went towards the house and dialed 911.
As the manhunt continues to unfold, authorities announced Gene Palmer, a second corrections employee in the prison, has been suspended. Officials have not said why he was put on leave. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Now, so far, only one person, prison worker Joyce Mitchell, has been arrested and charged for allegedly giving the prisoners some of the tools that they used to escape. Last week, U.S. Marshals added Matt and Sweat to their 15 most wanted fugitives list.
No demon in hell on earth can close the doors of God's church.
Just 4 days after 9 people were gunned down at the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina, the pews filled again for the first sermon since the shooting. Thousands packed the church to pray and to mourn the loss of congregation members. And police stood guard inside to keep everyone safe. Churches across the nation held services as well, dedicated to the victims, including in New Jersey, where the governor there, Chris Christie, says everyone needs to join together to stop crimes such as these.
I was so glad that we began this service with an invocation where we were holding each other's hands, because those hands are the hands that will do the work that needs to be done to end this type of hate.
And here in Lexington, members of the St. Paul AME Church made racial harmony their message on Sunday. That was their first service as well since the shootings in Charleston. Church workers arrived early yesterday morning. They found a handwritten note taped to the front door. David Johnson felt moved to leave the letter at the door that he wrote to members of the church to let them know that white members of the Lexington community are standing with them.
When you find that that you have a community beyond the church walls that is trying to embrace what you're going through and standing in solidarity for you, that speaks to our hearts, and it's uplifting.
Some members of other churches attended the St. Paul service yesterday morning in a show of support for that congregation. Nearly 100 new laws will be going into effect this week here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and one of those laws will help feed people in need. Senate Bill 55 will ensure that local hunters can donate game meat to nonprofit organizations. Shelters like the Catholic Action Center in Lexington provide most of their meals from donations, and leaders there say that game meat is fresher and more nutritious than other meats. One man at the center says that fresh food does a lot of good for the folks staying there.
You can get a hot piece of meat and some vegetables and stuff. It does something inside of you and in your mind. You know, it puts that home-cooked meal in the frame of mind.
The law pertains to any game meat coming from wildlife as long as the meat is properly processed and considered to be disease-free and unspoiled. 5:42 is the time on WKYT this morning, and let's take a look at live drive traffic and see what's going on out there. We're going to take a look at our Waze map right now, and not much showing up. It's looking like a clear commute, at least early on. Only thing to watch out for, those lane closures downtown and close to campus for the Center Point project, and of course the road improvements going on, especially that Alumni Drive project that's going to be summer-long between Tates Creek Road and Nicholasville Road. And a little bit of fog here and there around the Clays Ferry Bridge this morning, so keep that in mind. Still a lot more coming your way on WKYT on your Monday morning, including your weather.
That's pretty calm this morning. We're looking back toward the west. There is that complex fading away as we speak. It looks pretty treacherous right now, but it will fade away here in the next couple of hours. Today is your driest day in the forecast. Take advantage of it, because here come those storms. I'll have that coming up next.